Hello and welcome. This course provides an introduction to the fundamental concepts of intervention on culture-built heritage by exploring the different types of heritage and their values, thing that enables professionals of design and building to engage in thoughtful and responsible interventions, making in balance the respect of historical integrity while responding to modern challenges. At first, we start by defining cultural heritage in its large sense. UNESCO defines cultural heritage as all tangible and intangible assets inherited from the past which are of exceptional and universal value. The intangible cultural heritage comprises of inherited popular expressions, expertise, skills, poems, dance, music, stories, handicrafts. Tangible cultural heritage includes all kinds of immovable and movable cultural heritage. Immovable like archaeological sites, human settlements, monuments. The movable ones are like paintings, wall frescoes, and sculptures. There is also natural heritage, precisely delineated natural areas of outstanding universal value from the point of view of science, conservation, or natural beauty. We refine our inquiry about cultural-built heritage. It is constituted of three important categories: monuments, groups of buildings, and sites. Monuments are architectural works or monumental sculptures and paintings, elements of an archaeological nature, inscriptions, cave dwellings, and combinations of these that are of outstanding universal value from the point of view of history, art, or science. Groups of buildings could be separate or connected buildings which, because of their architecture, their homogeneity, or their place in the landscape, are of outstanding universal value from the point of view of history, art, or science. While sites manifest works of man or the combined work of nature and man and areas, including archaeological sites which are of outstanding universal value from the point of view history, aesthetic, ethnology, or anthropological point of view. We have to mention also that cultural-built heritage is increasingly threatened by damage due to the urbanization, industrialization, pollution, and insufficient funding. Its preservation is a global concern requiring legal, institutional, and international cooperation. Among the risks threatening built heritage are assessed according to several factors, including the state of conservation, also the transformation of the environment, the change of use or the function, and we don't omit the natural risks. Preservation of built heritage employs different interventions, which refers to all actions aimed at restoring, rehabilitating, or adapting a building or historic site, while respecting its cultural, historical, and architectural value. These actions must respect the principles of authenticity, reversibility, and sustainability. There are several types of interventions. They range from protective measures such as conservation, safeguarding, preservation, to repair-focused actions like restitution, rehabilitation, restoration. Additionally, some interventions focus on adaptive reuse and recycling. We start with restoration. To restore means to repair in order to return an ancient work of art to its original state, eliminating later additions and using authentic materials. Its aim is to preserve and reveal the aesthetic and historical values of the monument and is based on authentic documents. It stops where the hypothesis begins in terms of hypothetical reconstructions. While rehabilitation is a process which involves repairing altered parts of a built property while preserving as possible its original characteristics, it aims to adapt the building to new use and improve its comfort level. Unlike restoration, rehabilitation tolerates certain modifications to ensure the building remains functional and viable with contemporary needs. The reconstruction is rebuilding anew in imitation of the old as necessitated by disasters, such as fire, earthquakes, and wars, in the same site or in extreme cases in another. The example of reconstruction at the historic center of Warsaw in Poland. Now, the promotion. The promotion means enhancing a heritage site to improve its visibility and public understanding through measures such as lighting, signage, and interpretation. The goal is to make the site more accessible, engaging, and comprehensible to visitors. The adaptive reuse is one of the interventions in the built heritage which involves transforming an existing building to give it a new use while preserving its architectural and historical character. It is a way of reusing built heritage without destroying. It helps to minimize environmental impact. We have also the reproduction, which is performing a copy of an existing artifact or project in order to replace some missing or decaying part, or in extreme circumstances, moving the object to a more suitable environment. It's named also the rescue replica. So its object is to save the original from destruction. So interventions in the urban scale, we add the urban regeneration, which involves of a set of interventions aimed at revitalizing an urban center through implementation of new cultural, economic, and social projects. It may include modernizing neighborhoods by replacing dilapidated buildings with new constructions to enhance its livability and functionality. The example of Hafen City in Hamburg. At the end of this course, we underscore that preservation is not about freezing buildings in time, but rather they're adapting carefully to modern needs. In an era of rapid urbanization, climate change, and changing societal needs, the preservation of built heritage must strike a balance between sustainability, functionality, and cultural significance through appropriate interventions. The forthcoming chapters will examine each intervention strategy, its stages, and elucidating their theoretical frameworks and practical applications. Thank you very much for your attention.